All right, welcome everyone. This is going to be the start of a new series on the YouTube channel where we're going to be having an honest conversation about video games. So for now, the first video is going to be about DNF Duel, and the first guest that we have is fellow content creator and DNF Duel deity, Hollowshy. Hollowshy, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yes, it is I, Hollowshy, your hollow guy.
Oh god, I knew he was going to say that.
What? It's a good catchphrase.
Alright, well, if anyone doesn't know, me and Hollow have a rivalry, basically, in DNF Duel, so I figured he would be the best person to have as the first guest on the show. So we're gonna go ahead and get into some matches, and basically, we're just gonna talk about DNF Duel and what some of the stuff that we feel about the game. So, first of all, Hollow, I was a day one adopter of this game. If I believe so, you were also a day one adopter? Alright. So...
Well, actually, I was playing since the first beta.
Oh, he was a beta player, alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also played the beta, and the beta did not go well for me.
Yeah, during the first beta, there was a lot of disconnects too, so...
Yeah, the game has come a long way from that first beta. I would say
it has.
So, in terms of right now, how do you feel the current state of DNF Duel is?
Well, I do think that the community is still going pretty strong. The player base isn't exactly big, but the players that are left, you can tell that they really do like DNF Duel, and they want to see it succeed, even if the dev support has been kind of lacking.
Yeah, that's definitely been the biggest complaint about DNF Duel so far is the dev support. Not technically the dev support, I think it's more just the silence. You know, no one knows what's next. Or at least that's how it was for a little bit.
I'm pretty sure there's not really someone. I mean, the marketing crew must be a skeleton crew, because there's no one really keeping us updated with what's going on with the game all that often.
Yeah, and that was a problem even before the release, honestly, because even before the release, what marketing did DNF Duel even have?
Yeah, they had a trailer, and then they went silent for a whole year. What?
Honestly, the only marketing I ever saw for this game was the character trailers and people reacting to them. Other than that, I would not have known those character trailers came out.
Yeah, those character trailers actually came out a few days before the beta came out, so it was marketing's a bit weird for this game, honestly.
Yeah, and that I feel like is definitely a Nexon problem, because they have a reputation apparently of not being the most forthcoming with their games. I don't know if that's the right word I want to use, but
oh, do they? Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, I did some research, and apparently they don't really like putting in more money than they need to on their games, unless it's DFO, the actual MMO that DNF Duel is based on.
Dang. That kind of raises the question of why they made DNF Duel in the first place.
Exactly. And basically what I've been able to find out is that they actually have a bunch of DNF projects in line that are all just meant to be ads. This is basically an ad for DFO. And
you know what else was an ad for something a fighting game that was an ad? Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and that didn't go too well.
Exactly. And so far is these games might be sharing the same fate.
Yeah, but I think maybe there's some reason to believe that maybe Nexon didn't believe that this game would do as well as it did, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't know, because we have no release data sales for this game. The only information we can go off is the Steam player charts.
Yeah.
And then whatever we see ourselves. And right now, I don't know. I feel like the matchmaking, it seemed like the player base was really high at release. I think...
Yeah, it was.
So I feel like sale-wise, the game had to have done decently.
Yeah, I mean, some people may have refunded on Steam, but there's some people who played. So from what I've seen, people were really hyped up about this game. I guess maybe it could be the whole people thinking that it was gonna be Strive kinda, and Strive did really well. So I think maybe people had that same expectation.
Yeah, there's definitely there's something wrong with DNF. Not wrong. There's an issue with DNF, and we just don't know exactly what it is, honestly. Because
Yeah,
the game itself is super fun.
it is very fun for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
It does have some gameplay problems in my opinion, but like,
Yeah, there's definitely issues that they could resolve. But
yes.
all in all, I feel like the base package by itself is honestly one of the better fighting game packages to come out in recent years.
Yeah, some people feel the same way. Like, you know, I like the idea of the game where like everyone has these super cracked buttons to just like throw around. It kind of feels like this game. They just put a bunch of boss characters together in one game, so we're just going at it.
And that's an interesting.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, that's an interesting point you bring up because we did finally receive news on DNF Duel, future news on DNF Duel about maybe a week ago now at this point.
Yeah.
And that news was they're planning another balance update in December of only buffs for characters.
Only, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that is their idea, is that they only want to give out buffs.
Yeah.
My initial impression of that is a little worrying. What was your initial impression of it?
Honestly, like, when I first saw the trailer, I didn't see that it was only buffs for all the characters. I thought it was gonna just be only buffs in general. But then I read that it said like all the characters, and I'm just like, bro, some of these characters do not need buffs, you know, for sure.
Yeah.
My character might, but not some of these other ones, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's some bias there, I feel like. But yeah, it's just in a game with characters that are already, as you said earlier, boss characters.
Yeah.
Is buffing everyone really the smartest choice?
I mean, I could see the intention. Like, people just want all the characters to be good, but then, you know, some buffs could just make people way too overpowered that it may end up making weaker characters not good, you know, just because they can get shut down.
Exactly, because right now, one of the issues about DNF is that some people feel that you kind of have to play top tier to really get anywhere. And if you do give buffs to everyone, as they're planning to apparently, does that really matter? Because if you give buffs to everyone, doesn't everyone stay in the same tier that they have been?
Yeah, that could be. And then, like, you know, some characters that, like, you gotta be careful with really buffing characters, especially in this game, because, like, there's so many explosive things in this game that if you make it, like, even a tad bit better, it might be a little too much for some of these characters.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thought plan that they have, in my opinion, to only buff characters. I honestly feel like that's something they might end up walking back on, considering it's not coming out till December. I feel like that's something they might end up walking back on, or being like, you know, after reviewing more data, we decided that that wasn't the route to go, because I really don't see how some of these top tier characters like Hitman, Dragon Knight, Berserker, Crusader, Striker, I really don't see how you can buff them more without just making them an utter headache for any other character to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, people already, like, don't like fighting some of these characters, so it'll just make it worse for the players that are, you know, still playing this game, you know, because the balance, people don't like the balance. There is a lot to balance for sure. So
yes, and so one of the reasons why I thought you would make a perfect guest is that one of my most hated characters, possibly my most hated character in this game, is the person we are seeing on screen absolutely destroying me. It is Striker, and in my opinion, Striker needs to be nerfed. But you are in the party of Striker needing to be buffed. So I think it's time me and you have an honest conversation about this, no bias involved, and we figure out, does Striker actually need a buff or nerf, or can she just stay the same, honestly?
Well, I mean, like, you know, when I do say that Striker needs a buff, I mean, like, I do be joking a lot, because, like, I definitely see, like, the strengths of this character. Like, she has reverse beat, and, like, her pressure is just, like, it'll be non-stop, and some characters straight up don't have the tools to deal with it, for sure. You know? Like, in my opinion, she is beatable, but, like, it's not exactly an easy thing to do.
As you are showing on screen right now. But I don't know, like, I feel like Striker, and this might sound weird, I might have to explain myself when I say this, but I feel like Striker is what the top tier in this game should be. I feel like she's at, like, just the right level of having enough tools, but also still having a couple weaknesses on her.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, she doesn't have like good range, and like in a game like this where everyone has crazy range, that could really hurt.
Exactly, like her biggest button is probably the shoulder tackle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's an MS skill, right? So that costs mana to use.
Yeah, it's just that all her other tools are so really good that you know, the fact that she doesn't have range isn't too much of a weakness to keep her from the top tiers.
Yes, and I feel like she doesn't have anything truly like game breaking. Like in my opinion, I think one of the game breaking things that are in this game is Hitman's Awakening. Hitman's Awakening, even after the nerf that they gave him, I feel like it's still a little bit too much.
Yeah, like she got rid of she lost her guard break off of like 100 mana, so you know that like when she had that, I felt like okay, yeah, she was a little too crazy, but you know now that she doesn't have that anymore, like you know it's not as bad, but it's still pretty bad. Oh gosh.
I just gotta get one win in my video.
Oh no, you don't.
Never mind, I'm not going to. But yeah.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, the one issue I have with Striker, and this might just be because I'm a Ranger main, and it's something I struggle with, is the DP. I feel that Striker's DP is too good.
Oh yeah?
Yes. And the
it
reason
did nerf the DP, technically.
I know, but I think it needs another nerf. I think it's ridiculous the fact that she can combo off of her DP.
Yeah, true.
Like right there, being able to cancel it in the kicks.
Yeah, I mean, if they got rid of that, it wouldn't destroy the character.
Yeah.
Sure.
But here's
it would make her much more bearable, but like, she'd still be really good. You know, you'd have to really mess her up to like, for her not to be a good character.
Exactly. So I feel like that's something that they could get rid of. I know some people are brought up that dive kick needs to be nerfed as well.
Mm-hmm.
I personally don't have really an issue with the dive kick. I think it's a really good button, but I don't think it's a broken button. I don't know exactly how you feel about that idea of nerfing the dive kick.
I wouldn't mind like a bit of like ending recovery on her dive kick. It is a bit hard to punish. Like it's possible to punish the end lag, like the recovery, but it's still really tight. So you kind of have to like guess when they're gonna do the dive kick so that you can punish.
So we talk about some nerfs. And my question is, what exactly would you want buffed on Striker?
Kind of hard to say because I would want like Striker's. I feel like Striker's struggle is like when she's in the corner and like she can't escape. I noticed this particularly in the Berserker matchup because like Berserker's range is like super crazy. Like once Berserker gets Striker corner, like I can't really guard cancel because like Berserker would usually have conversion and you know bait out my guard cancel, but at the same time that's like a character specific thing, you know. I just think like maybe I don't know. I would want to give her just like some range in some areas, like maybe the moves that move her a little bit forward and move her a little bit more forward, because I know that Dragon Ball FighterZ actually like does changes like that, you know.
Yeah, and I remember in one of your streams, by the way, Hollow does stream at Hollowshy on Twitch TV, so make sure to give him a look there. He streams DNF Duel and Battle for the Grid, as well as other content as well every once in a while. But, but in your other content, or in one of your streams, you mentioned wanting the DP to be buffed, but not in a sense of like the frames and such, but just giving it some forward movement. Is that what you're kind of talking about, the fighters comparison?
Yeah, kind of. Oh, damn.
Oh,
I got perfect.
Oh my god, I can't believe I got perfect. Goodness. But yeah,
but yeah, just like just a tad bit of range. If like I can make it to where she moves forward, but like she loses the ability to combo after it, then honestly, I'd be fine with that. Honestly,
I was about to.
I don't like. It doesn't matter to me if like Striker is a bad character. Like I'm just gonna give that. Like she's just cool.
Yeah, I was
She's
gonna.
a cool character.
I was gonna say, what if we gave you that trade? No comboing off the DP, but the DP gets a like a diagonal movement, kind of like Adult Gohan's DP from Fighters.
I'd be fine with that, honestly. Like, you know, I just want her to like be able to challenge people, to like throw out massive buttons instead of having to be patient.
See, I honestly,
Oh no, you know.
I'd honestly be okay with that as well. I honestly think that is something Striker needs. Having a completely vertical DP, like I talk crap about Ranger's DP being one of the worst in terms of its range and stuff, but honestly, Striker's DP is probably one of the worst in the game in that situation in terms of, you know, if you're not right above her or right on her, that DP is gonna live.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Just let it be known, this is like the 3rd time I beat Hollow in my DNF career.
My win streak, dog.
You have to start it over.
God damn it.
Yeah.
See, that's why Striker needs them both, right there.
See,
Completely irrefutable evidence.
Striker couldn't get 6 wins in a row. She needs a buff. That's what Hollow is
She does.
saying. But yeah, so I mean, besides the DP, I really can't think of anything I would truly want nerfed on Striker. Except there is one thing. This doesn't affect me, but it does affect other characters in the games. And I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I do know it exists. I feel like you might know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, what is it?
The instant overhead.
Oh, it's like the conversion when you jump in the air, do conversion, and then do overhead.
Yes. I think I've heard that it only works on like Crusader, Lost Warrior.
Oh, that instant overhead. That all I gotta do is jump back and press JB. That's it.
Okay, so it's not as broken as what I thought it was.
Well, actually, it is broken because like you don't need conversion for that.
Okay, so I feel like that's probably one thing they do need to address as well, because I feel like it's a little unfair for those characters to have to.
Honestly, yeah, like Striker could instant overhead characters like Lost Warrior and Vanguard, and like those are the last characters that need to be instant overhead, you know.
Exactly.
Make those matches straight up unwinnable.
Those characters are already low tier. To have stuff like that against them isn't the best.
Yeah, so like they could take away the instant overhead, and like Striker would still be a good character. Like it'll greatly like it'll affect Lost Warrior and Vanguard more so than it'll affect Striker.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what is the consensus here? Are you still on the buff Striker team?
I mean, yeah. Like I said, like I mean, I only want Striker to be buffed for my own bias, but like honestly, like she seems like a character that like doesn't really need too many changes in the first place. She's a good character, and like she's like not the best in my opinion, because you got Swiftmaster and Hitman and Dragon Knight, which I feel like are better than Striker, but I think Striker is like behind them.
Well, I'll say this. I'm still on the nerf Striker train, but if the only buff that they want to give her is the DP buff, or she gets forward movement on it,
Yeah.
even if they don't take away the kicks, or being able to combo off it, even if they don't take that off it, I would be perfectly okay with that.
Some type of forward movement on some of her attacks or something like that, you know?
Yeah, because that is definitely one of Striker's issues. And it's something that Ranger players, a good Ranger player, would be able to take advantage of. I'm not showing it here, but yes, that is something that Ranger struggles with a lot. It's something that Grappler also deals with a lot as well. And I feel like it's a little unfair for those characters to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
So I think it is something that should be addressed a little bit. It might be hard to address with how the way the game is based right now, but I think it is something that needs to be looked into.
Yeah, like, you know, she's just like one of the many characters that could use some changes in the game.
So
A lot of characters could use a lot of things.
yes. And earlier, when we were talking about the state of the game, you mentioned that you thought there was a couple of like system issues, and I feel like that is a very popular opinion with DNF players. I also agree with that. So if you, let's say right now that the developers at Aiding said, Hollowshy, you're our hollow guy. We want you to tell us what system changes you would want in the game, and we will put them in, no questions asked. What changes would you make that you think would help benefit you?
Definitely like the roll is like probably like really bad in my opinion, because like you know, you can grab the roll, but like the thing is that you could like roll behind someone, and like maybe like on the last few frames you could like grab them even though they've already rolled behind you. You know, that doesn't make sense to me. Like they should like make it like cancelable, like into like conversion or DP or something like that to give rollers more use.
Yes, it is definitely weird that one of the few defensive options in the games is also kind of a bad option most of the time.
Yeah, pretty much. Like it loses to an offensive option.
Is there any other system changes you might think of that you think would help improve the game?
I think like this game could definitely use some push block. I mean, I might be like one of the few who says that, but like, you know, like some of the characters are really oppressive to where you can't really do anything like once they got you on like a certain spot. So with a bit of push block, you know, you can create that space again. But like, I don't think push block should be free. I feel like, you know, they should make it cost like a bit of mana or something.
Honestly, that is the first time I've heard someone mention having push block in this game, and I love the idea. Honestly, I honestly really do love that idea. I think push block would be perfect for this game rather than
you got like these Marvel type buttons, and in those games you do have push block.
Yes, and like my idea has been adding a combo breaker, kind of like Mortal Kombat 11, but I honestly think the push block would be even better than a combo breaker. And I think it could be, as something as simple as just a, for every time you push block, 20 mana or 10 mana is used.
Yeah, something like, you know, something so that you're not at a disadvantage and it's worth the mana.
Yes, because right now the main defensive option besides rolling is guard cancel. Guard cancel takes 100 mana, and I feel like that is a little much. Because
yeah, 100 mana is a lot. Like I feel like it should be character dependent how much mana you spend.
Yes, because
like, you got characters like Ghostblade and Grappler out here with a really good guard cancel and a really bad one, and they both cost the same amount of meter. It's like even DPs in this game cost different meter amounts.
Yeah, that's definitely something that they could look into, because sometimes you can guard cancel, and even if it's not blocked, you still end up in a worse situation than you were in. Except now you have no mana.
Pretty much. The fact that there's different like hit advantage on the guard cancels is so weird. Like Hitman and Striker, the two characters that are like advantageous when they do their guard cancel. It's like, why? It's just silly to me that, you know, it's different for every character, but like it's a universal mechanic type thing.
Yeah, I understand.
You know, if you're gonna like make it different in like how much hit advantage there is, then surely they shouldn't mind making the mana costs different for them as well.
Yeah, that also just kind of just deals in with balance, because honestly, a lot of the balance issues in this game can probably be fixed with system issues like that. I mean, just stuff like that can instantly make a big difference, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, there are games like Fighter Z and Street Fighter 5 that like they get mechanics like late into like their game's lifespan, but you know, it still works. Like, I remember when Dragon Ball Fighter Z added multiple assists, and people like that change.
And they changed up their the way the assists can tag in as well, really late into the game's life.
Yeah, so like change could happen. The only question is like what kind of change they're gonna do.
The real question is they don't want to put money into making those changes. They definitely haven't put
What
the
was that?
money.
Can you repeat that?
The real question is whether they even want to put money into making those changes. Because they haven't put the money in the marketing.
I mean, it's so weird if this game doesn't get like any type of like updates, because like, you know, it's a fun game, and like a lot of these fighting games with updates, you know, like the game that I play on the side, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, like it was made by a mobile game company, and it's still got like 4 seasons of DLC. So
Yes,
if
but
they could do that, then I think just about any fighting game company could, with the right passion.
yeah, but I feel like Battle for the Grid is in a completely different situation than DNF Duel, because Battle for the Grid developers truly love the franchise as a whole, and like
That's
wanted,
true, yeah.
like from what I've heard, that development team was very fond of Power Rangers franchise and wanted to make the game as best as they could. And so far, the DNF, whether it's the devs or Neopal or 18 or Arxis even, someone just seems like they just do not want to deal with the game. So
Just want money.
yeah. So as we wind up this final match, I guess, what are your hopes for the future of DNF Duel?
I mean, I really hope that like this balance patch that comes out like isn't going too crazy with like buffing the top tiers. If they decide to go that route, that, and I do hope like they could add crossplay and DLC characters, but like as much as I would want that, like I don't want to keep my hopes up that high, because you know I've seen what they've done already. You know, like they haven't done too much, like, you know, with the whole marketing and whatnot. So like, you know, I'll just keep that in the back of my mind.
Yeah, we were hoping for a DLC announcement, but unfortunately that is not what we got at the CO Tokyo event.
Yeah, nah, nothing compared to the extra rollback that was announced.
Yeah, this is the only Arxis game that just isn't getting any love. I mean, it's technically not a full Arxis game, but close enough.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Arxis had some part of it, so.
Yep, well, as you finish this final ass beating on me, is there anything you want to plug or where people can find you?
I mean, y'all can catch me streaming this game at twitch.tv/Hollowshy. I mean, I'm sure most people who are playing DNF, you know, they know about me already. So, you know, be sure to subscribe to Black Ace to, you know, Black Ace 305 for DNF Duel content.
Oh, wow, I don't even have to plug myself. Hollow did it for me.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Thank you, Hollow, for the matches. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being here on this for the first episode of whatever I'm going to call this. I don't know yet. But,
no problem.
Yeah, thank you for being here. Well, I'll go ahead and let you go, but before you do, I got to hit you with the defeat email, because holy shit. But let it be known, I was the only one who got a perfect KO on this video.
Okay, alright, bro. I'll let you hold on to that moral victory.
I gotta hold on to something, because I definitely didn't hold on to my block.
Yeah.
Alright, well, yeah. Once again, thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it. And with that, guys, we will see you on the next video with the different guests. Who knows? Maybe I will bring Hollow back. Don't know yet, but we'll see. But thank you all for watching. Really do appreciate it. If you liked the video, leave a like. Make sure you check out Hollow. And as he said earlier, make sure you hit that subscribe button.